Good morning, everybody. We are back with part 5 on how to make a chatbot. And in this one, I'm going to be showing you how to use SQL a little better for our chatbot. Now, over here, I've just made a few changes to our previous program. I'll just go ahead and remove this. This is supposed to come later in the video. Okay. Instead of using MySQLDB, this time we are going to be using MySQL.connector. And I'm using Sublime Text for this video instead of PyCharm, if you noticed, because PyCharm was taking too long. It was very laggy. So to download MySQL connector, you have to go here and write pip install MySQL connector Python, right? And you press enter and it will install it for you, but for me it is already installed, so it will say that its requirements are already satisfied. Okay, so we're not gonna wait for that. Go ahead and do that, you will get it. And now you come here and I opened our p4.py. I'm not gonna change its name, and this is our previous program. Another thing I did was I put this main question answer part in the while loop, so it keeps asking you question answer question answer question answer, right? So now first thing we are going to do is we are going to add a login thing for like a password. So this is my test, this was my reference thing, so I'm just going to copy this and then I will just tell you what it's doing. Control X, Control V. Okay, so it's a little big, but there's not much to say. First thing it does is it executes a command on the SQL database to create a table, if it doesn't exist, called users, with a user number which is an integer and cannot be left empty when you make a new row, a name which is text and cannot be empty when you make a new row, password is the same thing, color and admin are also text but they are not necessary. Okay, I added admin because some whoever are admins, they can add their own special commands, right? And they can execute SQL commands directly. We're going to add that. Okay, so the first so then what happens is it asks you for your user number, username and password. Then it tries, like try means if this gives an error, then it will come to the except statement. Okay, so it will select color and admin, where user number like the first string we gave, and name like the second string we give, and password like third string we give, and we are giving user number, username and password, which are these three values which you inputted here. Now if this gives an error, okay, then it will move to this except statement where it catches the exception as E, prints it out and says user not found, do you want to create a new user? If it's Y, then he adds the user with the same user number, username and password. If it's no, then he prints by and he exits the program. If this does not give an error, it takes results as cursor.fetchAll, right? And color comma admin is what is given in the results, 0, because it gives it as two tuples inside each other. So yeah, color and admin equals result 0, and it will return user number, username, password, color and admin, right? Which we will assign as global variables later when we call it. Okay, so we'll just Control S to save. Now we will take the add user. Okay, so add user it takes the user number, username, password, prints adding user. It by default gives admin as no and color is blank. It cannot be left empty like this, so we're just going to give it a space. Okay, so it will insert into users, into the columns username, user number, username, password, all of the columns, the value 5 strings, right, which is given. And over here it will print user added, right? Save this, and then we are going to add another thing which was a suggestion given to me, which is add to history. So it will keep a search history of what you do. So what it does is it takes your user number and the question you entered. Okay, it creates the table if it doesn't exist called history, with time as text which cannot be left empty, question as text which cannot be left empty, and user number as text which again cannot be left empty, right? Then it takes the time as datetime.now, which we have to import. Import datetime.datetime, right? Because for some reason the command is datetime.datetime.now, so now we just have to say datetime.now, right? So then it will execute insert into history time, question, and user number, and we will insert that. Right now here what we have to do is save this again, and we are going to assign login as global variables, right? Now we'll just format this, right, and we are going to move this connection down so it'll be neater. Control X, Control V, remove this random D over here. There. Okay, so now that we've done that, we now have to, what else did I want to add over here? We can delete this all, we don't need this anymore. Okay, so the last thing we have to do is we have to put the adding answers, and we have to put the special commands for admins, right? So over here we are going to, first we have to put all the special things. So what I'll do is I'll just open our old project, so Control O, and go to where it's located. Pretty sure it was Chatbot DB. Yeah, so the add answer should be here somewhere. Yeah, we'll take the menu. Now I've already explained what this is doing, I'm not going to explain it again. So we'll just put the menu here, Control V. Control S to save. Then we are also going to add quit self, Control C, Control V, and now I think this reset table, restore backup, I will explain all of that, okay, don't worry. Control C, Control V, right? So now that we've copied everything, last thing we have to copy is this. You remember? So we are just going to copy this much. I will explain what this bit is. Control C. Control V. Why is it one step forward? 1 second. Shift tab. Shift tab. Okay. So now that we got that, we didn't have many special commands, as you can see. So we have to also put else, not here, else print ans, right? So now if it's not add and it's not quit and it's not activate menu and not original chatbot, then we will print answer. So we'll save this and we'll try running it. So we go here and we say p4.py user number indentation is wrong. Why is it wrong? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put this in PyCharm and put that indentation shortcut, Control Alt L, and then I'll try running it. So
1 eternity later.
Okay, so I got it working. I had no apparently this username and password were one step like little more back than they should have been, and I didn't know that happened. So yeah, and another thing I had to do was you had to change this to from datetime import datetime, because some reason datetime.datetime wasn't working, right? So if you do this, one more thing we forgot to import was OS, because if you see in some places we need os.color and stuff like that. So import OS, right? And now what this will let us do is every time we log in, after we get it, we can also change to the color that he wanted. So go down, right? And here after we get the color, we can say os.system color plus color, right? And we have to make this string just to be safe in case it's not a string. And now Control S, and now even if you have not specified what your color is, it's going to be blank. And remember, when the command is just color, it just resets the color to the color when the command line started, right? So if we come here and we do p4.py, everything should work now. See, it's connected and it's asking me for my user number. Now I have created a user. I'll show you how. Let's just do this. So user not found. So no, I do not want to create a new user. So when you install MySQL, what you can do is, suppose you want to create an admin, right? So you say MySQL u root. That means your user is root. Depending on what your username is, you put your username here. I just kept my username and password root, so we're going to do that, right? And the database was Chatbot, right? That was the database. Let it connect. It will ask us to enter our password. So enter whichever password you did, but mine was root, so we're just going to do that. Yeah, see, it came enter password root. It will say welcome to your monitor, blah blah blah. Okay, so what you have to say is, just in case you didn't, it gave you some error, you can leave out this chatbot, and when you come to this scene, you can just say use chatbot, right? Then you can say insert into, what was it, users. What all do we have to insert? User number, comma, name, comma, password, comma, color, comma, admin values. So what do we want our user number? I kept mine 0 before, so we're just gonna do that. We're gonna keep it. Okay, I remember a mistake which I made. What we should have done over here is we should have kept our thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop the table users, drop users, sorry, it's drop table users. So now it's removing the table, and now we have to create that table again. But the thing is, I made a mistake, and that mistake was that every user number, name and password should be different. So the keyword for that is primary key user number, comma, name, comma, password. Right, now we'll save this and we'll just take this much of the code and Control C, and we'll just paste it in here, and you have to add that. Use the right syntax near user number, username and password. Okay, 1 second, I just need to check the syntax for that. So we're going.
A few moments later.
Okay, so the problem was that I didn't add this comma over here, and so then what you do is primary key, user number, username and password. And another thing you have to do is you have to set a limit. I just kept character 200, that means limit has 200 characters, right? I'm not judging any of you. Okay, 200 characters for a name. Password, fine, maybe if you can remember 200 characters, but yes, this is what we had to do. So now we have done all of this, and yeah, I was showing you how to make what do you call it, how to make an admin. So you say mysql u root p chatbot root. Okay, so now you do insert into users. You know what, we'll just copy this bit from, where is it, add user, insert into users, Control C, Control V, right? And now over here we'll just add the values that we wanted to put. So first thing, we need user number, which is 0 for me, A for my username, A for the password. Now only do this color part if you're sure which color you want. I know which color I want, which is black on light blue, and remember to add a space over here, okay, because it has to be color space the 2 digits of foreground and background. And then the most important thing is you have to put admin equal to yes, and you put this in. So now you see it inserted one row, and if you do select star from users, it shows that it inserted, right? So you can do just this to quit. And now if you run this p4.py, it should work. So p4.py connected, user number 0, username A, password A, color 30. What? I put a space. Okay, so apparently the space did not come. I have no idea why. So what we are going to do is, when we log in over here, we are also going to add the space manually. Okay, so we save it, come here, and we say bye, so it quits for us. And then we say again p4.py, user number 0AA. Okay, so that worked. See, light blue on black. And now I can say whatever, hi, hello, bye, successful. Okay, so now we were going to add some extra commands, right? And what we could do is, over here, instead of printing ans directly, else if admin equivalent to yes, then put your special commands over here. If ans equivalent to, I don't know, if ans equivalent to covols, no, we are going to say if ans equal to SQL, then it will let us execute an SQL command. So we'll say input SQL. No, we'll put this, it looks better. And over here we are going to put SQL equals input, and then cursor dot execute SQL, right? So it will execute that command. And else if admin not equal to yes, if it's not yes, then we are going to just print the answer, right? Oh right, it's L if, not else if. That's a different language. Okay, so if I save this and I go here and I run it again, use number 0 A. Now if I say SQL here, he should have let me do it. Oh right, he was not able to find an answer called SQL. So also what we have to do is, if admin is not equal to, no, over here we are going to put try. So we are trying to get this, we'll put this in a try. So over here we'll come try, just try accept, right? It automatically gave us that bit. So we're just going to try this bit, Control X, come here, remove this pass and paste this. So now if this raises an error, right, we're just going to put this to this entire thing, Control X. Now when this raises an error, that time we want to, first of all we want to print the error, print E, which is the error, and then we are going to add answer, and the question will be USI and we'll save that. Now if we run it again, p4.py give me a second.
More moments later.
Okay, again I'm going to use that PyCharm solution where we go to PyCharm and
Much later.
okay, so I don't know what our problem was. I just put it in PyCharm and let it do the auto indentation and just Control Alt L for the formatting and all that, and it started working again. So if you see, we can go here, p4.py connected 0AA, it works. And I had to add the SQL command. All you have to do is type SQL and it came SQL for me, but otherwise it will ask you for an answer. Okay, then you write the answer as SQL and then you write SQL again. It should give you this. So we say select star from users. Oh right, we have to print the response. We just say by what?
Much later.
Okay, what we're going to do is just we're going to go here, cursor.execute SQL, print cursor.fetch all, Control S, accept exception as E. Okay, fine. We're just gonna try this. Connected 0AA SQL create. Sorry. Cell star from users. Okay, it came. Now if we say buy, what was his problem? Buy successful. Okay, I had no idea what his problem was over there, but it seems to have fixed itself. And now like this you can keep doing on and on. Go check the SQL documentation for things that you can do, like you can make a reset table command, right? So suppose we come here and we say def reset table, right? And then we write here which table we want to reset. So, and we'll keep this only for admins. So table, right? And here we'll go cursor, no, we'll say print resetting, print resetting cursor dot execute. What do we want to execute? We want to execute drop table and we're gonna go to this, and we are going to drop the table, and over here we're gonna make this an f string. So what this lets us do is insert variables into the string. So this will let us drop the entire table, and then we will restore backup of that table. So we'll just go up to the restore backup. Where is it? Yeah, here. Open data dot we are going to make this take table, which table to reset, and then over here insert into. Okay, for now we'll just keep it only resetting the Q&A. So yeah, is it? Yeah, so like that you could do. You can restore the backup of that specific table and then make a separate file for each backup. What you can also do is you can add save to backup, def save to backup, and over there you could say print saving, then cursor dot execute, select star from QA, and over here we're going to remove this table. But you got it how to use f strings, right? You just put the f over here and you put these curly brackets and you write the variable name in between, and remember to take the variable as a parameter for the function. But for me, I don't need that right now. Q and A, can remove this f because it doesn't matter to us right now. And over here select star from Q&A, then open the file and save it inside that file, right? So we are going to just copy that from, oh, you know what, I'll write it myself. Find it, it'll take more time. F1 equals open data dot txt for reading, then writing, then f1 dot write string version of cursor dot fetch all, right? So I think that should work. Alright, then f1 dot close. Always remember to close your files, right? So this, I just given you an idea how to do this. I'm not actually going to insert these right now, but yeah, you could do like this. Go read the documentation, go see. You can try to check out alter table, update statements, and yeah, also in that color changing thing, where is that, options, control O, second, go up, I think it was here, yes, this options, come here, and if satisfied Y, then what you do is what should we do? We take the user number, okay? No, we'll make him return a color. Return BG plus FG, right? And we will save this as the new color, right? So we come here and mm, elif ans equal to customize, then elif ans equal to customize. Oh right, and we'll also keep adding answers only for admins, right? Otherwise we'll just print the exception. So if admin equivalent to yes, a D, we just don't care about this one that much. Input, do you want to add a answer? Y/n, and if it is equal, if D is equivalent to Y, then we want to do this. Oh, Control Z. There. And if it's not equal to Y, it won't do anything. If the admin wasn't yes, then it won't do anything in the first place, right? So yeah, that is it for how to make a chatbot, and hope you enjoyed. Tell me what all you think you can also put in this, and see you next time.